Welcome back to our channel Valuable Coins HD, where we uncover the hidden stories, rare treasures, and secret values behind some of the most fascinating coins ever made. Today's journey takes us straight into the heart of American history with a coin that's not only patriotic but also incredibly collectible, the United States of America Washington quarter dollar dated 1776 to 1976. This special quarter was minted to celebrate the 200th anniversary of America's independence, a monumental event known as the bicentennial. But what if I told you that some of these quarters, yes, the same ones many people have in old jars or tucked away in change, could be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Stay tuned because this story is full of history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery that every coin collector dreams of. Let's travel back in time to the mid-1970s. America was preparing to celebrate 200 years of freedom, and the excitement was everywhere, from parades and fireworks to commemorative coins designed to honor the nation's long journey. The U.S. Mint wanted to create something truly special to mark the occasion, so they redesigned three of the most iconic coins in circulation: the quarter, the half dollar, and the dollar. Each coin would bear the dual date of 1776 to 1976 to symbolize the nation's birth and its 2 centuries of independence, but the Washington quarter was the true standout. Since 1932, the quarter had proudly carried the image of George Washington, America's first president, on the obverse side. For the bicentennial celebration, however, the Mint wanted to add something new, something that captured the spirit of freedom and patriotism. They launched a national design competition to find the perfect reverse design that would complement Washington's portrait and reflect the theme of America's 200th birthday. The winning design came from Jack L. Ahr, an artist from Illinois. His design featured a magnificent colonial drummer, a symbol of the young men who helped lead the call to independence during the Revolutionary War. The drummer stands tall and proud, with a torch of victory to his left and a ring of 13 stars above him, representing the original 13 colonies. It's a design filled with emotion, energy, and national pride, making it one of the most beloved commemorative designs in American coinage history. Now, while millions of bicentennial quarters were produced for circulation in 1975 and 1976, not all of them are created equal. There are certain versions and varieties that collectors seek out because of their metal content, condition, or minting errors, and those can fetch incredible prices. Most of the bicentennial quarters were made of copper-nickel clad, the standard material used in everyday coins. But a special limited number were struck in 40% silver for collectors as part of uncirculated and proof sets. These silver coins have a slightly different ring when dropped, a brighter luster, and a heavier weight compared to the regular circulation strikes. For collectors, the silver versions are already highly desirable, but when you add rarity, errors, or pristine condition into the mix, the value skyrockets. Over time, some rare 1776 to 1976 quarters have surfaced that were struck with unusual characteristics, double dies, off-center strikes, or proof-like qualities that make them stand out from the rest. A small mistake during the minting process can turn a coin that would normally be worth 25 cents into one worth thousands of dollars. Condition is another key factor. A Washington quarter from 1776 to 1976 that has been perfectly preserved, showing no scratches or wear, and graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC at the highest mint state levels can command astonishing prices at auction. These coins are time capsules, perfect snapshots of America's 200th birthday, untouched by time and circulation. Now, let's take a closer look at the design details that make this coin truly iconic. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar bust of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan, with the word "Liberty" arching above his head and the motto, "In God We Trust," just to the left. Beneath his portrait, instead of the usual single date, you'll see the dual inscription, 1776 to 1976, symbolizing 2 centuries of independence. On the reverse, the colonial drummer takes center stage, a proud and timeless symbol of the American Revolution. The 13 stars above his head remind us of the colonies that joined together to form the United States. The flowing banners, the drumsticks frozen in motion, and the bold inscription, United States of America, at the top with quarter dollar at the bottom complete the powerful imagery. Every line and curve of this design tells a story of courage, unity, and the enduring American spirit, but among the millions of quarters minted for the bicentennial, some coins have special characteristics that push their value into the stratosphere. Collectors prize the silver-clad quarters minted in San Francisco, especially those in proof condition with deep mirror finishes. Others look for the rare coins struck on experimental planchets or those that were struck using die varieties not intended for mass release. These rarities are the treasures hidden among ordinary change, waiting for the lucky finder who takes the time to look closely. It's worth noting that the bicentennial Washington quarter has captured the hearts of collectors worldwide not just for its beauty, but for what it represents: 2 centuries of American perseverance, freedom, and progress. Owning one is like holding a piece of the nation's story, a tangible reminder of the journey from 1776 to the modern age. Over the years, stories have surfaced of people finding valuable 1776 to 1976 quarters tucked away in old coin rolls, inherited collections, or simply lying forgotten in jars. Some of these discoveries turned out to be rare high-grade specimens that sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auctions. These are the moments that fuel every coin hunter's dream, the possibility that an ordinary coin could hold extraordinary value. Now imagine this: you're sorting through your spare change or looking through your old coin album, and you come across a bright, uncirculated 1776 to 1976 quarter. You notice it gleaming just a bit differently, or perhaps it has a distinct feel to it. You weigh it, you examine the details, and you realize it's not just another common coin, it's a rare version, perfectly preserved, a true collector's gem. That's the thrill of numismatics, the art of discovery, the excitement of history, and the promise of unexpected value. Collectors often emphasize that not all valuable coins are rare because of how few were made, some are valuable because of how few remain in pristine condition. Over time, coins wear down, get scratched, or lose their original shine. But the few that survive untouched, especially coins struck in silver or with unique die features, become treasures of history. To make things even more interesting, certain bicentennial quarters were mistakenly struck on 40% silver planchets meant for collector's sets but found their way into general circulation. These are incredibly scarce and can command enormous prices if authenticated and graded. Another fascinating variety includes proof coins with ultra-deep cameo contrast, where the frosted design stands out dramatically against a mirror-like background. Such examples are highly desirable among advanced collectors and can bring jaw-dropping amounts when sold at major coin auctions. The 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter is not just a coin, it's a symbol of national pride, artistry, and the timeless value of American craftsmanship. Whether you find one in silver or copper nickel, with a mint mark from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, each one holds a story that connects you directly to the spirit of the bicentennial celebration. And now we come to the most exciting part: the value. Some of the rarest and most pristine bicentennial Washington quarters ever discovered have achieved legendary status in the collector's market. One such example, featuring a perfect strike, deep cameo-proof finish, and preserved in flawless condition, sold for an astonishing $240,500. Yes, you heard that right, a single $quarter, minted to celebrate America's 200th birthday, can be worth $240,500 today. So before you spend that shiny old 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter or let it sit forgotten in a drawer, take a closer look. It might not just be a piece of spare change, it could be a rare treasure hiding in plain sight. Examine its details, check its composition, and who knows, you might be holding one of the most valuable quarters in American history. Today, we're exploring one of the most iconic and beloved American coins ever minted, the United States of America Kennedy half-dollar, dated 1776 to 1976. This isn't just any coin, it's a powerful symbol of American pride, minted to celebrate 200 years of independence. But here's the twist: while most people see it as just another commemorative coin, a few rare versions of this half-dollar are worth incredible amounts of money. In fact, one of them has sold for a jaw-dropping $310,300. So, stay with me, because we're about to uncover the fascinating story, design, and hidden value of the bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar. Let's start at the beginning. The year 1976 was a historic one for the United States. The country was preparing to celebrate its 200th birthday, the bicentennial of its independence. Fireworks, parades, and celebrations filled the nation, and to mark this monumental event, the U.S. Mint decided to do something special. It reimagined three of its circulating coins, the quarter, the half-dollar, and the dollar, giving each of them a special dual date of 1776 to 1976. This design wasn't just about marking a milestone, it was about capturing the spirit of a nation that had endured, grown, and thrived for 2 centuries. Among these commemorative coins, the Kennedy half-dollar stood out as the most emotional and symbolic. First introduced in 1964 to honor the late President John F. Kennedy, this coin had already become a symbol of hope and unity for millions of Americans. Just 12 years later, it would once again serve as a reminder, this time of the nation's strength, progress, and freedom over 200 years. When the Mint began planning the bicentennial coins, they decided to hold a nationwide design competition to find the perfect imagery for the reverse side of the coins. For the Kennedy half-dollar, the winning design came from Seth G. Huntington, a talented artist who captured the essence of American history with his depiction of Independence Hall, the birthplace of the Declaration of Independence. It's an image that perfectly represents the heart of America, the place where freedom took its first breath. The obverse side of the coin continued to feature the classic portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The portrait is bold, confident, and dignified, representing Kennedy's enduring legacy and the forward-looking optimism of the American people. But what makes the bicentennial version special is the addition of the dual date, 1776 to 1976, replacing the usual single year of mintage. This simple yet powerful change transforms the coin from an everyday piece of money into a historical artifact. Now, let's talk about the varieties of this coin, because not all 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollars are created equal. There are 2 main types, the regular copper-nickel-clad version, which was made for circulation, and the 40% silver version, which was produced specifically for collectors. The silver-clad coins were sold in special sets, both uncirculated and proof, and were struck with higher detail and sharper finishes. These silver versions are noticeably heavier, have a more brilliant luster, and often develop a gorgeous toning over time that collectors love. But as with all coins, the true excitement lies in the rare varieties and errors, the ones that weren't meant to exist. Some of the most valuable bicentennial Kennedy half-dollars have unique features such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, and even coins struck on the wrong planchets. These mistakes are incredibly rare, making them highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. Imagine finding a half-dollar that looks just a little different, perhaps the lettering is slightly doubled or the image seems thicker or deeper. That tiny difference could mean the coin was struck in error, and that could multiply its value many times over. Collectors have always been fascinated by the Kennedy half-dollar because of its deep connection to both modern and historical America. The 1776 to 1976 edition is particularly captivating because it bridges 2 centuries, the birth of the nation and its ongoing journey into the future. It's more than just a coin, it's a story frozen in metal. Every detail of the design speaks to patriotism, leadership, and the enduring values that define the United States. Now, let's take a closer look at Independence Hall, the masterpiece on the reverse. This building, located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is one of the most important landmarks in American history. It was here that the Founding Fathers debated, argued, and ultimately signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776. The building's clock tower and grand colonial design symbolize the strength and vision of a young nation ready to stand on its own. Surrounding the image are the inscriptions, United States of America, and half-dollar, while just below the image of the hall are the words, 200 Years of Freedom. This message is simple but powerful, reminding every American who holds this coin of the sacrifices and triumphs that built the country. When it comes to the coin's value, condition plays a major role. Most bicentennial Kennedy half-dollars that you'll find in circulation are only worth their face value or slightly more, depending on condition. But the ones that were preserved in mint or proof condition, especially those made of silver, can be worth significantly more. Coins that have been professionally graded by PCGS or NGC and given a high mint state or proof grade, particularly MS68, MS69, or PR70, can bring extraordinary prices, and then there are the exceptionally rare varieties. Some of these coins were struck with deep cameo finishes or special proof details that make them stand out from the rest. The contrast between the frosted image of Kennedy and the mirror-like background gives the coin an almost three-dimensional appearance. These proof coins, especially in pristine condition, are the crown jewels of any coin collection. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for the perfect bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar, the one with flawless detail, shimmering luster, and no blemishes or marks. Because while millions were minted, only a very small number remain in perfect condition today. And as time goes by, the number of untouched examples continues to shrink, driving their rarity, and their value, even higher. It's incredible to think that a coin minted nearly half a century ago to celebrate the birth of a nation could still spark such excitement and command such high prices. But that's the beauty of numismatics: every coin tells a story, and every collector keeps that story alive. So, what should you look for if you happen to come across a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar? First, check if it's silver by weighing it. The silver-clad coins weigh about 11.5 grams, while the copper-nickel versions weigh around 11.34 grams. Next, look for any unusual details or errors in the design. Finally, if you believe your coin might be special, consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service. The small investment in certification could unlock an incredible surprise if you're holding a rare variety. Now here's the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. Among the rarest bicentennial Kennedy half-dollars ever discovered, one particular specimen in pristine condition, featuring a deep cameo-proof strike and flawless surfaces, sold for an astounding $310,300. Yes, you heard that right, a single 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, minted to celebrate America's bicentennial, reached a value of $310,300. So before you overlook that old half-dollar coin sitting in your change jar or tucked away in your collection, take another look. You could be holding a piece of history worth more than you ever imagined. The Kennedy half-dollar isn't just a coin, it's a reminder of America's spirit, leadership, and unity. It honors a president who inspired a generation and celebrates 200 years of freedom. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, this coin represents the perfect blend of artistry, history, and hidden value. Today, we are diving deep into one of America's most iconic and historic coins, the United States of America Eisenhower $1 coin from 1972. This beautiful and bold coin not only represents a proud era in American history but has also become one of the most fascinating collectibles among numismatists worldwide. So grab your magnifying glass, sit tight, and stay tuned till the end because you won't believe how much some of these 1972 Eisenhower dollar coins have sold for, and trust me, it's jaw-dropping. The Eisenhower dollar coin is more than just a piece of metal, it's a tribute to one of the most respected figures in American history, President Dwight D. Eisenhower. After his passing in 1969, the U.S. Mint wanted to honor his incredible legacy, from his leadership as the Supreme Allied Commander during World War II to his two-term presidency that shaped the modern United States. Thus, in 1971, the Eisenhower dollar was introduced, marking the first $1 coin produced by the U.S. Mint since the peace dollar ended in 1935. But it was the 1972 issue that truly captured collectors' attention for a very special reason: the design of the coin tells a powerful story. On the obverse side, the profile of Dwight D. Eisenhower stands strong and proud, symbolizing strength, integrity, and patriotism. His gaze faces forward, representing America's spirit of progress and determination. Above his portrait, the word "Liberty" stretches across the top, and below, the motto, "In God We Trust," reminds everyone of the nation's core values. And of course, the date 1972 marks the year of minting, the year that would later make this coin one of the most fascinating in modern U.S. coinage history. But the real beauty of the Eisenhower dollar lies on its reverse side, a stunning design that connects America's space achievements to its national pride. The reverse features the Apollo 11 mission insignia, an eagle landing on the moon, clutching an olive branch, symbolizing peace. This breathtaking artwork was inspired by the 1969 lunar landing, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to set foot on the moon. The Earth can be seen in the background, reminding us of humanity's shared home and the limitless potential of exploration. Above the eagle, the words United States of America and E pluribus unum stand proudly, while the denomination $1 sits at the bottom. This was not just a coin, it was a celebration of both American history and the triumph of human achievement. Now, while millions of these Eisenhower dollars were produced, not all 1972 Eisenhower dollar coins are created equal. This is where things get truly exciting for collectors. The 1972 Eisenhower dollars have three distinct types, Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3, and the differences between them can mean the difference between a common coin worth just a few dollars and a rare treasure worth thousands. Type 1 coins, minted in Philadelphia early in the year, have a bold and rough design of the Earth on the reverse, with very little detail in Florida and the Caribbean. Type 2 coins, however, are where the magic happens. These coins have a much more detailed and accurate depiction of the Earth, with sharp outlines and distinct islands. They were accidentally struck using proof dies intended for a special collector version, which means they are incredibly rare in circulation. Only a small number of these Type 2 Eisenhower dollars ever made it into the public's hands, making them one of the most sought-after varieties in U.S. coin history. Type 3 coins came later in 1972, featuring another design adjustment with clearer details and stronger strikes. But among all three, the Type 2 Eisenhower dollar stands as the holy grail for collectors. If you happen to find one of these in your collection, you might just be holding a life-changing piece of American history. Another aspect that adds to the coin's intrigue is its composition. The 1972 Eisenhower dollars were struck in two main versions, a copper-nickel-clad version for general circulation and a 40% silver version minted specifically for collectors. The silver versions were never released into everyday use, making them even more desirable for numismatists. If you own a 1972 Eisenhower dollar, checking whether it's silver or clad is crucial, because the silver coins hold significantly more value. Now let's talk about what truly makes this coin so captivating: its rarity and pristine condition. Finding a 1972 Eisenhower dollar that has survived decades without scratches, wear, or dulling of its luster is incredibly challenging. Most coins from that time circulated heavily, clinking through hands, vending machines, and pockets for years. But if you happen to come across one that looks nearly flawless, with sharp details and mirror-like shine, you could be looking at a collector's dream coin. Collectors today are willing to pay a premium for coins graded as MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. The combination of its historical importance, limited high-grade survivors, and the unique design variations makes the 1972 Eisenhower dollar one of the most exciting coins to hunt for. Over the years, this coin has continued to rise in both popularity and value. Numismatists adore it for its connection to both American leadership and space exploration. It's not just money, it's a piece of national pride cast in metal. Every line, every detail, and every imperfection tells a story, from the memory of Eisenhower's leadership to the reflection of America's achievements during the space age. Now comes the part every coin enthusiast waits for, the value reveal. If you have a 1972 Eisenhower $1 coin, especially a Type 2 variety in near-perfect condition, you're sitting on something extraordinary. These coins have been known to fetch incredible prices at auction due to their rarity and condition. And recently, one of these coins, a pristine, beautifully preserved example, sold for a staggering $370,100. That's right, a single Eisenhower $1 coin from 1972, once worth just $1, is now valued at $370,100. Can you imagine holding something so valuable that most people would overlook as just another old coin? It's the kind of find that changes lives, turning an ordinary day into a moment of pure excitement and wonder. So, before you spend that old coin or toss it into a jar, take a closer look. You might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable Eisenhower dollars ever minted. Check for the details, study the design of the Earth on the reverse, and if it looks different or exceptionally crisp, you could be sitting on a small fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story of the 1972 Eisenhower dollar coin and want to discover more hidden treasures like this, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss our next big coin discovery. Remember, your change could be worth more than you ever imagined, so keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting. Thanks for watching, and may your next coin be your lucky treasure.